Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to NASCAR Heat 4 for my career mode series on the game. It's been a while. I think it's been 2 months, or the channel says a month. I think it's been closer to 2 months now since I uploaded episode 3 of the series. This is episode 4. This is of Martinsville, and this was recorded, I think, the week of me releasing episode 3. So it's been a while, and there's a few reasons why. If you've stuck around the channel long enough, actually there's a lot of new members to the channel because I've been doing a lot of the train simulator content, and I appreciate you guys watching that stuff. It means a lot to me. I wanted to find something on train simulator that was a little bit unique, a little bit different. And so I'm glad there's a lot of people that have enjoyed that, but that's something I'll also talk about later in this episode. But first off, let's talk about career mode here. I pretty much just have the entire race. It's not edited or whatever. I also don't have the original audio from this race. Now, I actually restarted this race about 5 times. Part of it was just because the legendary AI with 3-star teams just doesn't work out. There's something weird about 704's ratio in career mode where when you're in a 3-star team, they make the AI almost like, you know, unbeatable is the term. And then when you go to a 5-star team, it's like they're the easiest things in the world. So there's some weird balancing to it. I don't know why 704 doesn't just have a number scale system like Formula 1 does, where you can go from 0 to 105, 110 or whatever and choose the AI difficulty you want. And I have this issue too about the different ratings for teams, because that only really affects the player. When the player gets into a 3-star team, the other 3-star teams out there, that's a mouthful to say, aren't as slow as you, or aren't as struggling as much as you. So there's just this weird unbalance, whatever you want to call it, of difficulty here. And so this was a race where I hate to change settings for every single race to get them to, match, what it should be realistically. But I think moving forward, I'm just going to move that difficulty down to hard, because there's no point in me trying to sweat out, trying to beat the AI and be faster than them. Like I said, I restarted multiple times. One of the reasons was that the truck would... I think it was hitting the rev limiter. I don't know what it was doing. The gearing was really weird as well. And you could just see we were just, I don't know. It got to the point where this wasn't fun. This was not fun at all for me to record. I wanted to do a series that was fun. And like I mentioned with the Train Simulator series, it's hard to do something that's unique. There are so many other YouTubers who are doing career mode. Like my good friend on Xbox, Gary Owen. He can focus more on just doing the career mode series. He doesn't have other things. Let me make sure I'm not peeking here. Sorry about that. He doesn't have too many other things to worry about. So he can do his career mode series and do that on a daily basis. And the fans are going to him. The NASCAR YouTube community is going to that. And it's not a problem for me. He is being consistent with that. I have other things to worry about in life. But also, it also wasn't fun for me to do this either. So I'm hoping, I do want to continue this. I don't want to stop it, because back on like NASCAR 14, I tried doing a career mode series, and I think I went all the way with it or something like that. And I feel like I'm capable of doing that. I'm capable of continuing on. And this is good practice too. This is good practice for what I want to do in life, which is be in the broadcast booth, whether that be behind the camera, making sure everything, runs correctly on the broadcast, or to be the personality on camera. And I feel like doing a lot of this is good practice. I'm not taking... I took a speech class at my community college, but our I guess broadcasting classes are more video classes and more editing classes. It's not necessarily... I'm not really taking the, broadcast writing classes. There's one offered at my college. It just depends whether or not I'm going to take that or not, which I probably will. But until then, YouTube is a great practice point for me to be able to convey, the information that's in my head and convey that out as, grammatically correct sentences that everyone else can understand. If you watch my channel and all the videos and all the cringiness before today, you'll see me stumbling over a lot of stuff and nothing really makes sense. It still doesn't. I still kind of struggle with that a lot. Like I said, a lot of things that, happen in my head They don't really come out as, full, correct, complete sentences when I record and such. But anyways, I digress. So yeah, I do still plan to continue this. I'll probably just change some difficulty settings and whatnot, and hopefully from there it should be a little bit more enjoyable. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't uploaded this in a while. Now you guys have seen that, yeah, I've done the Donner Pass, modernizing for Train Simulator 2020. And that has been popular only because it's something different from the train simulator community. Now, there's two types of train simulators out there if you're not aware. There's the trains, that ends in a Z, train simulator, and then there is the train simulator. The train simulator is created by Dovetail Games, and then the trains with a Z, I think is like NV3 Games or something like that. But there's a lot of YouTubers like Approach Medium who do these speed builds, and there's not too many YouTubers for Train Simulator that do speed builds on that platform. So that's why I decided to do a speed build series, and I suck at doing fantasy stuff. So I decided I'd take an existing route, modernize it, and a lot of people have enjoyed it. A lot of people on the Railworks America forums have really enjoyed it. There's a lot of people, there's actually someone asking me to update another route, which I still have to get to and talk to that person about. But yeah, no, it's like on my spare time I enjoy doing that stuff as well. So that video series has been picking off only because the views are there. And that's the problem with YouTube as well. You like Gary Owen and other YouTubers, in order for you to gain viewers, to gain a greater community, you need to be uploading content consistently, excuse me. And that's hard to do for me. And so that's why the channel is still really small for me being on since 2014. And even the time I was consistent, my quality wasn't great. So that was at a time where quality was really important. Now that I have the quality of videos, it's just a matter of finding the time to do them and such. So that's why the Train Simulator stuff has been big, because there's been a big group behind it. A lot of people have been really enjoying that series. And even in the NASCAR Heat 4 stuff, my first episode has a lot of views. Probably because I put it as my intro video to the channel. Like if you're not a returning subscriber or something, it's like the first video that plays. So that's probably why it gets a lot of views. But yeah, overall people have been enjoying this. So yeah, I'll definitely try my best to continue. Obviously you guys have seen just then that first stage, like I said, I was doing horrible, and it was getting to the point again where I wasn't having fun. The NASCAR Heat 4, alright, so I'm bouncing around. Where are we going in this episode? I don't even know myself. So we went from talking about NASCAR Heat 4 and then the Train Simulator stuff. Let's go ahead and bounce back to NASCAR Heat 4, and I'm going to talk about issues that I've had with NASCAR Heat 4. Wow, my computer just absolutely crashed on itself. That's weird. Anyways, so yeah, NASCAR Heat 4 is not too bad of a game. It's from the whole entire Heat series, it's not too bad. Evolution through Heat 3 were definitely not the greatest NASCAR games. Heat 4 is getting there, but it's still wonky. Like physics like that. I don't know why I'm able to pick up the front tires there spinning out. It's just kind of small things like that are really annoying with Heat 4. But I think it's a great starter game to the next lineup of NASCAR Heat games. Obviously, 704 took a big swing on this, and I hope that they take an even bigger swing moving forward. I know there's a lot of things going on with the company right now, and I hope that's all for the better. I hope all that is for better physics, better online experiences, graphics. I think a lot of us could care less about, but overall quality of the game, I hope that goes up and such. So yeah, just wanted to mention that because, obviously you guys have seen here in the video playing back of that Martinsville race. So yeah, it's a little bit too late for me to redo it since I did complete it, but that's that. Alright, I'm going to try not to cut any of this out. Alright, let me talk about things going on in my personal life. So, like I mentioned earlier, the goal for me is to, like I said, I'm a big motorsports fan. I come from a family who didn't have, or had no part of motorsports, no part of racing. I pretty much got into it because, well, back in the day when I went to my cousin's house when I was a wee little lad, back in the PS2, he had NASCAR 06, Total Team Control. And that was just something that caught my interest. There's something about racing that just really sparked my interest. And even watching, NASCAR as a kid on TV, once in a while catching it. Other sports, I'm interested in baseball. I like, baseball's really the only biggest one. I don't mind football. I don't mind basketball. I give a lot of credit to basketball players because I think that's one of the most challenging sports out there. I'm a bowler myself, so I like bowling. I like other sports like that. But there's just something about racing that, it's just that adrenaline rush, that speed and such that racing has to offer, and all the action that happens during races and things. So my career goal is to go into sports broadcasting, and I want to, whether it be a journalist or it be the people behind the camera, that make sure everything goes, correctly live on TV. That's what I want to do. Instead of being in NASCAR, being in any motorsports, I want to cover that. And I also want to travel and be a part of that in some way, by, conveying what's going on track to the audience at home and bringing those, videos and stuff and that action to those at home. And I hope that works out. And, like I said, I've been kind of slacking off on videos because there's days where I feel like, oh, yeah, this is definitely what I want to do. And then there's days where I'm like, am I wasting money on college trying to go into these programs? Especially with my video programs now, they're not the best. I'm not really happy on the professor that I have. And just the way he approaches our class and just the way he does things. And, every professor is different. You're going to have professors like that and such. So, honestly, that's no big deal. But I also feel like there's maybe more out there that I could be learning. There's more things that I could be taking in and more experiences. But thankfully, there are lots of experiences for me that I hope and plan to kind of work with and do, and hopefully that would help, springboard my career for that. One of it you guys probably saw back in the spring, but I did that documentary on my local short track, home track. That's literally just up the road from me. It's like not even 10 minutes away. And I don't really go there often just because I don't have a family that's into racing and such. And it's an environment where, I'm not too comfortable with. It's a local short track. It's different than what NASCAR is. It's a little bit different of a community than what NASCAR is. That was a huge dive bomb. I just looked back at the screen. Anyways, but they're offering me to pretty much be a part of their team and do video stuff with them. And I think being able to do that will really open up the floodgates, really, for me to, have content that I've made. And if I get hired for a job, with any of the major broadcast, networks, or get hired with NASCAR and say, okay, what have you done? And, what's your passion for racing? And I can show them, plug in my hard drive, show them all these videos and say, hey, this is what I've done. This is what I've been able to make. This is what I've been able to cover at my local short track and such. And I want to do a lot more of that in 2020. I don't plan to leave my house yet. The story is that I'm going to my local community college, so I can still stay at home, but I do plan to transfer to another college where they focus a little bit more on the broadcasting aspects and such, and hopefully that after then I can then go find, that job that's open out there. But for now, since I'm going to my local community college, I'm still at home and I'm still close to the track where I can gain that experience for another year and just pile up videos and things like that. So I really want to be able to do that. I think that would be a lot of fun. That'd be really cool. There's some problems with that. I'm still, for those who've been around the channel long enough or have seen the videos, I'm still a part of that Nitro Xbox Racing League and stuff. And I like doing that. I still like league racing, and that's something I want to continue is someday, within that like next 5-10 years is to have my own iRacing rig and do league races on there. Because that's something that will stick around. If I can't race cars in real life, I might as well get good, the esports, direction. And I'd love to, hopefully someday, which would be awesome, is to get in the Peak Antifreeze series. I think that's like a video game goal, if you want to call it. More, not really video game goal, just like esports goal, really, is to get up to the Peak Antifreeze series, because they're in a sanctioned series of NASCAR, and I think it'd be cool to compete at that level. So, that's my end goal. So, but like I said, I don't want to give up, the racing stuff. I've spent so much money on an Xbox console. I've spent a lot of my life playing video games instead of hanging out with friends and such, where I feel like there's really no turning back. So yeah, like I said, but that's the other problem too, because we host our Nitro races on Saturday nights. The Cup and F1 leagues are Saturday nights, where the short track races. And I want to be a part of that as well. I want to cover that. I want to, do kind of race rundowns of, the night and whatnot, or put a mini video montage together. I don't know how big, that would get, but like I said, it's the trade-off. Like, should I continue doing this league racing stuff, or should I not? Most of my Xbox friends have been saying, look, it's not worth it to do the league racing stuff, but I've already kind of put my heart towards doing this league stuff and spent so much time that I really don't know if I can give that up. So yeah, that's really a stupid answer, because yeah, I can give it up, and my future career is way more important than the league racing stuff, but I don't know, I've been trying to convince, that, hey, maybe let's do this Friday nights, because people are busy on the weekends, and I want to go do my racing, cover, real motorsports on Saturday nights, so I don't know. That's a choice that then comes down to me personally making, but yeah, so there's that opportunity, and I also got an opportunity to actually be a part of a broadcast team for an iRacing league as well. And it also depends on what nights they run too. And it also depends on my internet quality, because my internet is not great at all. And I can't really live stream stuff. I mean, unless I convince my parents that, hey, we need better internet or whatnot, it's not really going to happen. The most I can do is communicate in a Discord chat or some sort of, party chat, and someone else is broadcasting the race, and I'm kind of like watching that broadcast, or I'm watching the race. But I'm physically not broadcasting my, screen, my TV perspective to Twitch or to Facebook or whatever. So, I don't know. It's something that we'll have to get around. But, it's things like that too. Like, I'd also love to be a part of broadcast teams on iRacing. I think that, again, oh my gosh, I look back on the screen and I'm wrecking everywhere at Martinsville. I think it was this point I kind of gave up. I was like, yep, I just need to run through cars just to make positions. Anyways, oh yeah, I didn't really make friends after the race, that too. But anyways, so yeah, it's just kind of opportunities like that. I'd love to get on the iRacing booth and talk about it. The league that, emailed me and reached out, they really liked how I commentated. They really liked how I, talked and stuff. And sometimes I come across as being really annoying, like this episode, where I've been talking for 18 minutes and 45 seconds straight now. It probably doesn't make sense. But when it comes time to talking about an event, I think I would really enjoy that. I like talking about, what's going on track, talking about what's going through the drivers' minds and stuff. Especially through iRacing or through any esports racing series, because I've done a lot of the esports stuff. I've done Tora through Xbox, the Online Racing Association is what they're called. I've done my league racing stuff. I understand what it's like to drive a car in the virtual world and such, and to talk about that and convey that to the audience, I think would be amazing. So I do have my opportunities open. I think there's plenty of opportunities, it's just a matter of taking them and managing my time. And that's been the hardest thing too. This last month at my college has been just intense with a lot of video stuff, and I've been pushing a lot of stuff behind as well, which doesn't help. I hate procrastinating. That's actually why I'm doing this video, because it got to the point where I was getting I literally spent yesterday, Monday, I spent the entire afternoon binge watching season 8 of that 70s show. And it was 8 o'clock in the evening, or whenever I watched the finale, 6, 7 o'clock. And I realized to myself, holy cow, I just wasted that time. Like, imagine if I picked myself up and did stuff. I edited, I recorded videos. I could probably get a lot done. But in my head, that's not how it goes. In my head, I'm thinking, oh, like, yeah, if I start to do this, it's going to take me all afternoon to do, and it's never going to be completed. So it's small things like that. It's hard to bring myself up. But like I said, I'm hoping that if I do start doing more stuff on YouTube, maybe that will translate to me saying, hey, I can maybe organize my time a little bit more and be able to do more, upload more content. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, otherwise, to sum it up, it's just been a mess for me. And YouTube's not the only thing as well. I'm still doing a lot of music stuff. A lot of people don't know that about me. And I don't really upload too much of the music stuff. I did that one guitar cover over the summer because I'm like self-teaching myself guitar. But I also do a lot of piano. My old high school that I went to, my choir director has been inviting me to come play, learn some music, and come play for their concerts, and I've been really enjoying that. That's a lot of fun. I'm kind of nervous for this upcoming winter concerts that they have because I've been a little bit behind on practicing, and I've kind of lost motivation and such. And it's like this week of Thanksgiving, I need to bring myself up and complete them. Like by the weekend of Thanksgiving, I need to be able to, have those songs ready. And it's not only that. Even at my church, like this coming weekend as well, I'm playing the entire church service on Saturday night and Sunday mornings because I'm covering for my organist. He's going to be out of town for Thanksgiving weekend. So there's a lot of things that's going on in my life. It's stressful. It really is. It's gotten to the point where it's so stressful that I just don't do anything. And it's not really like a nervousness. It's more of just whatever. I don't care anymore. I've lost care. And it kind of translates to a lot of my classes too. Like my online classes have been lacking, because I just kind of wait till the night of when an assignment's due. So yeah, it's been a struggle. But other than that, like I said, this has just been kind of like an update video really about what's going on. I'm sure this is a mess of a video because I'm just hitting topics randomly left and right here. But I just needed to just kind of release some things that are going on in my head. Just some things that are going on. And I'm hoping that translates for me to, motivate myself to do more, to step up and get things done, get my school stuff, organized out of the way, and hopefully do some more YouTube and just be on track with the rest of my life as well. So thank you guys for bearing with me. This is, again, more of a personal video, but if you enjoyed, please hit that like button, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Take care.